In a year of difficulty, one stock has outperformed the rest, and many are putting their eggs in the technology basket. Here to share with us their big plans in the new normal, we have PLDT's Chief Revenue Officer, Al Panlilio. Good morning, sir, and welcome to Business Real Time.
Hi, good morning, Danny, and I hope you're keeping safe. Good morning.
Sir, just a general sentiment on the pandemic and, of course, how it relates to the plans of PLDT. On the one hand, a lot of your plans got derailed, just like everyone else. This was unprecedented. You already announced the CapEx cuts and your projects put on hold. On the other hand, lots of sudden opportunities have come up. Has the net effect so far been generally positive?
Yes, it has been actually very. We are surprised and very lucky actually that we are in an industry where it's become really an essential to our countrymen, no? And I think a very important service that we provide. The demand has actually increased during the lockdown. Our data traffic spiked by 30%. We're just very lucky that it is a service that's been essential today. Danny, sometimes they say connectivity is the new oxygen and data is oil. And we have seen that spike in demand and requirements for our service. And we have been hit by the lockdown for sure. In April, there was some softness in our business, but at the end of the day, sometime after Holy Week, our volumes have gone back. In fact, our volumes in our top-ups have been even much higher than pre-lockdown periods. Our first half, we're able to actually, in our terms of net income, slightly higher than last year, same period. I mean, despite the fact that there was some softness, as I said, in August, in April. And I think initially also our installation capability and our network crewmen ability to expand the network was impacted because of the lockdown. Again, they could not really move around, couldn't do their work that they needed to do because of the strict movement restrictions in the country. But again, after the lockdown and the GCQ now that we've been able to ramp up our installation. In fact, our installation volume today is even higher than pre-lockdown. So we're able to be more efficient, be more productive. Our outputs are better. So we're hopefully seeing even a much better second half compared to first half. But again, we are here to really support our countrymen, a lot of the businesses that have been impacted, all our segments in the business in terms of individual consumer wireless is up double digit compared to last year. Our home business is also up, strong demand in home broadband for sure. Our softest segment, but still growing, is our enterprise business. As you know, a lot of our customers are affected by this lockdown, by this pandemic, but we're trying to help them get back on their feet. And the only way we would continue to grow our business if we are able to help them rebuild their businesses also. So very strong performance for us, surprisingly, in the first half. Now that we're almost at the tail end of the third quarter, we're still seeing growth during the third quarter. So I think, again, very lucky that it is an essential service today, Danny.
Sir, thank you for that update. We'll go through those earnings a little bit more in detail later on. Just to be a bit more anecdotal here, the more that it becomes an essential service, the more people start becoming critical also about the service, diba? And especially now, nobody expected to be working from home, nobody expected to be studying from home. A lot of complaints for sure. Are these complaints justified? Was the traffic of data right now, or at least during the pandemic, too much to be handled by the current infrastructure? And what is the immediate solution here to provide, as you mentioned, an affordable service without compromising the quality?
Well, actually, in terms of our ability to manage the increase in data, we were able to do that. We didn't have problems in terms of managing the capacity requirements. Initially, the first few days when the spike happened, we had to increase our international capacity for sure. Because as you know, Filipinos, in terms of internet access, would normally, it's not local content. most of
Oh,
it will be US content. So we
okay.
had to expand our international capacity, and we were able to do that quickly. The other thing was a lot of the traffic that we normally see in the CBDs went towards the urban or the terms of residential because
Okay.
everybody stayed home. As you said,
Right.
working from home, studying from home. So we had to do some refarming of frequencies, which was done remotely and very quickly to be able to make sure that we're able to handle those capacities. But we were able to manage it. I think that the network held off. It just shows you that the investment that we've done and the strategic the decision to invest on improving the network for the past 5 years, we've spent, Danny, about 260 billion already in
Mm.
network. That has been significant for us in managing and trying, being able to serve our customers. I mean, there will be complaints. We acknowledge that. We had issues of installation, as I said. Physically, we couldn't really attend to those because we were not allowed to. But today, again, we've recovered. But demand also is higher. So we do need to improve our installation capacity even more because demand is there. And of course, obviously, when customers need the service and we're not able to install, obviously they will complain. And we want to make sure that we're able to handle that. So that is a ongoing process now. We are, in fact, trying to double the capacity of installation that we have today, but it takes time for us to develop that.
Mhm.
We are making sure that we're in touch with our customers. We're making sure that we're able to, if ever, serve them temporarily with other services for the meantime, like packet Wi-Fi's or fixed wireless, until we're able to give them fiber.
Okay.
So we're trying to manage the demand. We understand. We're trying to increase our capacity, but yeah, it's really we know we need to address those
Mhm.
issues as we move forward.
Sir, what solutions are you urgently focusing on? What's the target here? Is it to provide more coverage, even if those speeds are lower, to a bigger part of the country, for example? You also have this Fiber for All program. Do you want to replace, the current structures and make them faster? You're still focusing on 5G, which 5G as a technology is concentrated in central business districts, so it's still in very focused areas rather than a
Correct.
bigger population. What's the new strategy now going forward?
Well, our North Star is our customer. We would have to really make sure the customer experience is excellent for our customers. No, so in terms of this Fiber for All, these are really your ADSL customers. So as you know, ADSL is a legacy technology. So the experience there is not good. So we embarked on a project starting last August on an 18-month project to really migrate all our ADSL customers to fiber. And by the end of the year, we have about, say, 650,000 customers on ADSL. So a third of that will be migrated by the end of this year, and most, if not all, will be migrated by the end of next year. So that's our thrust in terms of improving customer experience. At the same time, existing DSL packages, for example, if they pay 1699 for 15 Mbps, once we shift them over, almost, I mean, for free, of course, going to fiber, we will be giving them 25 Mbps instead. So we're improving the packages that they have. We want to improve the experience. And for sure, in terms of network, it will be a continuous effort to expand coverage, expand capacity as we see demand growing, as you said earlier. No? So we will continue to spend capex. I think this year we initially said 83 billion. We brought it down to 63, not because of by choice, but again, the ability for us to go out there and do the work was just not possible. But since then, since our first half report, and we've now ramped up our work in terms of network, we are bringing that up to about 70, if not 72 billion, which is the same amount that we
Mhm.
spent last year. So we continue to spend on the network. We continue to, as we said during the first half, and the commitment of our chairman MVP to the president, that we will continue to improve our service. That is our that is that will still happen, and that will continue to happen.
Sir, how do all these plans relate to, let's say, our rankings when it comes to fastest, internet speed, even mobile data? We're still definitely not within the best ranked,
Yeah,
even
yeah.
in the region. You are, of course, the best in the country, but still, in the region, when we compare to other countries, what are your targets? And what really does, from a very basic perspective, what does a customer need to be able to work properly, to be able to study properly, and how does this relate to your rollouts?
Well, I think I think you're also referring, Danny, to the UCLA report.
Correct.
No?
Yes, sir.
Of course, there are two segments there: fixed and mobile. On the fixed line, we are 22 out of 33 as a country. But if you separate PLDT, we go up by 5 slots to 17 out of 33. For mobile, we are 25 out of 30. But again, if you separate smart, we are 8 spots better than that. So we're 17 out of 30. But having said that, of course, we are not happy with that. No, and what we have said to ourselves is we will benchmark ourselves not with competition here, because as you pointed out, Danny, we're already better than competition. We want to compare ourselves with countries like Thailand or Vietnam, where maybe the average speeds will be between 25 to 30 Mbps. At those speeds, I think working from home, studying from home, you will have a good experience already in terms of connectivity. No, of course, if you can have higher, you want that, but at 25 to 30 Mbps, you will already have a good experience.
Okay. And sir, finally, before we let you go, since you already mentioned about competition, how are you positioning yourselves now? There's going to be a third telco player coming on board here. And also, there were recent remarks by President Duterte and his SONA for the need to generally improve the services for all telco players, sir. Has it gotten easier in terms of getting tower permits? Has there been an important change in terms of your priorities right now because of all of these moving parts compared to your previous plans before?
Well, we have not really changed our plans. I mean, we continue to, as I said earlier, we will continue to improve our service, our network. That's why we are aligned with the president in terms of his statement that we can improve our service. We acknowledge that. And as I said, we will benchmark ourselves against countries like Thailand and Vietnam to be better. That will be our benchmark. And I think every Filipino deserves that kind of service. In terms of having the and again, based on that, is we need to improve coverage. And one of the key elements in network is towers. No, and I think the initiative of government to make it easier for us to be able to build out towers would be would hello,
Yes, sir.
did I
So go
lose
ahead.
you, Danny? Sorry.
No, we're here,
Uh,
sir.
yeah, so the ability for us to build towers, more towers quicker, is will be a big help in terms of
Mm-hmm.
improving coverage. We typically build 1,000 to 1,500 towers every year anyway, and I think as we get into 5G, there will be the technology of 5G needs more dense towers at the same time. No, but I'd like to say, Danny, the towers is just one element of the entire network
Mm-hmm.
infrastructure of PLDT, and we do have a very complicated infrastructure because we have both fixed and mobile. Aside from towers, you need an extensive fiber optic network, which we have. We have about 360,000 kilometers of fiber optic network. We have about 10,000 towers, about 90,000 what do you call this, base stations. I mean,
Okay.
because in one tower you can have a lot of base stations. We have a lot of data centers. So, and then we also have a lot of partners in international capacity. So that's the entire network that you need to build to be able to offer a service. So
Mm-hmm.
about competition, I think what we can only do is become better. Now, competition has to step up also to compete with us to do better. So in terms of Dito, they still need to build their network. Until they're not able to build a network, then it will be difficult for them to compete with us and
Mhm.
also with Globe. Globe is also not relaxing. I think I saw your earlier portion that
Correct.
they were committed to also to add 900 more towers, right?
Mhm.
So both Globe and Smart and PLDT will continue to build our network, and that will be a challenge to Dito. How fast can they ramp up in terms of building
Mhm.
their network and the ability for them to compete.
Okay, thank you, sir, for those insights. And we are, of course, looking forward to all of these plans coming into fruition. Good luck with that. We all, of course, are rooting for these things to happen and for everyone to
Okay.
have better internet access. That was, of course, Panlilio, Chief Revenue Officer of PLDT.
Thank you, Danny. Have a good day.
Yes, sir.